Okay. There's a lot going on here, as usual. Yeah, I can just put her on screen real quick. That's fine. There she is. So, yeah, here we are, and there she is. There's Alencia. She looks a little different. So yeah, if you weren't here yesterday, basically I streamed Faye, and I talked about how I was excited for this legendary hero announcement because I dug in deep. I ran the numbers, and I really theorized that the legendary hero would be Alencia. And if not Alencia, then somebody else who was cool, like Micaiah or Soth. Not that Corrin is bad, but I was personally excited for one of those, and that's not what I got. But that's okay. It's actually, in a way, it's good news because today I wasn't able to do a live reaction to this trailer coming out because I weirdly had an appointment at 11 p.m. on a Saturday. So yeah, I guess if I had to miss a live reaction, I'm glad it was this one because I just don't have a personal attachment to Corrin. But yeah, I just thought I'm 2 hours late, but I can do like a quick 20-minute review of what's going on here. Solid unit. Wait, what? We have to get rid of all of our skills. So yeah, I actually haven't. I've seen her skills, but I haven't read their descriptions yet. I know she has shield pulse. I think. Let's just play it.
This path is the one I chose for myself. I have no regrets.
It's Corn. I'll let her attack first before I start talking about her skills. To be fair, we were overdue for like a Fates legendary hero. It's been over a year since Azura. Isn't the perf special because Manicheets can't get the damage reduction B skills? I think you might be right about that actually. Yeah, dragons cannot get the or the damage reduction B skills. That's a good point. And here are the rest. The rest that we don't care about as much. Let's see, Nils on blue is new. We didn't know that was going to happen. Oh yeah, and there's also, we also got Rinka on green. There should be one red that's new. Who's the new red unit? Erica, Ike... Wait, what? Oh, Fallen Ike. Okay, this is Fallen Ike. I didn't even notice. I thought this was Legendary Ike. Fallen Ike is obviously very good. If IV mangoes weren't coming out, then I would be a little more tempted because the one Fallen Ike I have has a pretty shitty IV, but I can just change that, so it's okay. If you're just told, hey, like draw Corrin from Nor, like specifically the Conquest Corrin, but like I don't know, make it somehow specific to that route. I don't know how you do that. Corrin in that route specifically is like infamous because people really don't like how Corrin behaves isn't the right word. How she acts and how she like makes decisions in that route. But yeah, I mean the art's fine. It's inoffensive, I guess. The facial expression is a little strange, but whatever. If you like Corrin, you're happy. Why does it say she's from both Fates titles? That is a good point. Technically, wouldn't it be the most accurate to say that she's from Conquest and Revelations, because you can get it in both? Yeah, she is Nor Noble, you're right. That's her outfit. Also, for some reason when she transforms, she has, like, a dark dragon skin, which looks cool. It's just not canon to anything in particular, but I don't think anybody cares whether or not it's canon. Alright. Primordial Breath. Accelerate special trigger. This is all adaptive damage here. If foe's damage equals 2, or range equals 2, calculates damage using lower of foe's def or res. If foe initiates combat, or if foe's HP equal 100% at the start of combat, grants blah plus 5 to unit, and grants unit special cooldown charge plus 1 per unit's attack. So just like Dimitri, we have another breath perf skill. At the very least, her perf doesn't grant her disencounter. Oh, but look, she has disencounter, so it's okay. Obviously a pretty good weapon. You get... So let's see, let's count the effects. Special acceleration is 1, adaptive damage is 2. And then she has this spectrum buff plus 5. And then also the breath effect if that activates. When I first read this, I thought it just said if foe's HP equals 100% instead of combat, then she gets those buffs. That would have been balanced. But no, it's literally if foe initiates combat, so it's... As long as it's enemy phase, she's going to get a virtual plus 5 buff to everything, and she's going to have the breath effect. She is insanely strong. She would make for a good AR tank if it weren't for Thracer, and if it weren't for just the fact that she's a legendary hero, and legendary heroes are kind of awkward on AR offense. But that's not even the most interesting part. She has a new special, Negating Fang. Reduces damage from foes' attacks by 30%. After triggering, boosts damage for units' next attack by 30% of units' attack. Boost resets at the end of combat. I have one logistical question. What if you don't have this encounter on and you get shot? You would get the damage reduction, but then you wouldn't get the attack boost afterwards. And I'm guessing since you got the damage reduction, you would just not get the damage boost. I don't know. After triggering boost damage for units next attack by 30% of units attack. Maybe, I don't know, boost resets at the end of combat. Yeah, that must be it, right? Getting ore with and effects weapon is happening. That's actually a good way to put it, yeah. She gets these two really good effects if this or this is very easy to activate and you get a big reward for doing it. I was actually just thinking, recently, that I wish they did more with Shield Pulse, because it just went away completely after Fjorm came out. I don't think we've gotten a single new unit with Shield Pulse since then. So I'm glad they're letting us play more with that. And she has special acceleration. What is the point of this? You could just... special acceleration. And then she has a perf special, whatever. I guess it's just so that if you want to, you can give her a different special. Also, Shield Pulse has no purpose in this unit. That's not entirely true. Yeah, that's not true at all, I don't think, right? Because at start of turn 1, yeah. So as long as she has Shield Pulse equipped, she'll go straight to having it ready for the foe's next attack. It's 5 less damage every time it activates. I mean, that's pretty good. So you're getting reduces damage from foes' attacks by 30%, then 5 on top of that. Maybe the only thing is that, since, to be fair, the B slot is very competitive. So you can't put Quick Riposte here or, dual ranged or anything like that. But she has, she probably has a bunch of speed, so, I wouldn't say it's pointless. I think, whales that are going to plus 10 her will probably give her a different B skill, to be fair. But honestly, I'm not even so sure about that. Because she's going to be activating Negating Fang a lot, and every time it activates, she's going to be taking 5 less damage. I mean, that's, damage reduction is damage reduction, Special Spiral, so Special Spiral, I don't think that works with these defense skills. Because if she attacks on player phase with the opponent at 100%, she has it ready. I mean, that's true, but this way, at the start of a map, it's just ready. So you can just park her somewhere, and no matter what, she's going to get big damage reduction. So, she could dismantle, just as an example, she could dismantle an infantry pulse team by just equipping Pulse Smoke, and, whoever attacks her first is going to nuke her, because they're going to have their special ready, because it's an infantry pulse team. But it's okay, because she gets damage reduction on that first enemy phase combat. And then she's going to retaliate and kill that. Big assumption that she'll engage on player phase. Yeah, exactly. A lot of times it's just easier to park her somewhere. And think about, also think about their marketing to whales. Whales they're not specifically lazy, but you can sell a playstyle that's just easier to do, where you just park your unit somewhere and they win. I didn't say whales are lazy. That's not what I meant to say. She also comes with Joint Drive Attack, which is cool. I think if you wanted to pull on this banner for fodder, like Distant Counter and Joint Drive Attack, that's really good. You can, yeah, you can pimp out basically any unit you wanted with this combination of skills. Is there anybody that I want to do that for? Let's see. Erica. I will be building Erica soon. I was gonna wait and see if this was a legendary I wanted. I was waiting to see if it was gonna be like a good legendary. Oh yeah, so I guess I can get into that. I'm not gonna be pulling on colorless this time, even though it's extremely tempting. Colorless is nutty this time. It was going to be like no matter what, because we kind of figured it was going to be a new colorless legendary. But yeah, you have Corrin, and Milla, and Bram. They all have... I would say it's less about skill fodder and more about just them being really good units that are useful. But yeah, they also have good skill fodder. Milla less so, Bram and Corrin more so. But yeah, I'm going to resist. I'm going to resist the overwhelming urge to pull on color. It's not really overwhelming. It's actually not that bad at all. But yeah, since I'm saving orbs, that means the next time I might spend orbs will be in October. Because in October we get another legendary hero announced, so there's potential there. And also, that is when Micaiah is going to be rerunning on that banner. The double seasonal banner. I didn't talk about the colors on the banner yet. So yeah, colorless is the best, obviously. Green. Rinka has distant foil, which is fun, but it's there. Green's okay. Red has Erica. I think I might say colorless, then red, then green, then blue. But then blue has Nils, which is pretty good, and Naga, and Julia. Kind of hard to rank them after colorless. It kind of depends on what you personally want. I forget what Rinka has. She probably has like a lull skill or something. Because the gun throw risk is yikes. Yeah, gun throw. No skill fodder. Blue is not worst. Yeah, I guess you're right. Because Julia is just so useful on her own. And Naga, you know. Now that people have realized over time that Altina isn't that good. Naga stonks might be going back up. We'll see. Speaking of Naga, the mythic hero that's getting announced next month will almost certainly be Astra. If they don't do Astra again, I will lose my mind. Speaking of elements, so now that they've like gone back through all the elements, the next legendary hero could be literally any element. But I mean, at this point, like, they made Corrin wind. Like, why? Shouldn't she be water, if anything? I don't know. That just kind of makes sense to me. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to predict which legendary hero we'll get based on the elements, unless it's, like, super duper obvious. Like how Edelgard is fire. Like, obviously Edelgard is going to be fire. And Dimitri will be water, and Claude will be wind. Yeah, legendary Lilina. That'd be cool. We can look at our chart again. So if we look at our chart, we actually see the next legendary has to be either blue or green. And I think it could go either way. Look at that chart real quick. Not chart, but that thingy. On blue, you have Krom by himself, and on green, you have Hel and Edelgard. It could be blue or green. I guess just based on the fact that blue has 2 open slots, I would say blue is more likely. But yeah, it could go either way. I have no idea what to predict for the next legendary. I think it's too soon for Claude or Dimitri. Byleth is going to be a sword probably, so it's not going to be Byleth. Probably not Alencia, unless they like did something weird, like made her like a blue staff. I don't see that happening personally. Yeah, for the next legendary, I'm kind of drawing a blank. I guess they could just make legendary Lilina like a blue tome or a green tome. Like we see here as a red tome, but she can be whatever she wants. It's... Okay, hear me out. Legendary Lilina, she's an axe unit, so she gets infantry melee BST. But I don't know how they would make it work. She still functions as a mage otherwise. So she just gets to attack from 2 spaces away with her axe. So I guess one interesting point that's a little disappointing is in Cipher they had a costume for Corrin, for the Corrins, as the king or queen, as the one place. And I know, like, the meme in the game is that you can't say what it's called or else it'll disappear, but like I genuinely can't remember what it's called. I think it's Vala? Yeah. So in Cipher, they had art for what Corrin would look like as the king or queen of Vala. And I'm a little disappointed that they didn't go with that, just because that would have been more interesting. It also would have set a precedent for like using the Cipher art specifically for a legendary hero, which would be a good omen for Micaiah. I'm dead? Oh, because I said Vala, right. I'm dead like 3 or 4 times over. Does anybody ever actually say Vala in the game? Like, Azure just kind of tells you that you'll disappear if you say it, but they don't make an example out of anybody. What if someone says Vala without knowing what it is? The logistics of this were never really ironed out, I don't think. There's probably an obvious one that I forgot about. Oh, Robin. Yeah, they could just do Robin. Legendary Grandmaster Robin on blue or green. Probably blue. I could see that happening. He would be running with Crom, which would actually be kind of cool. He or she, that is. I would assume he, but I see people say occasionally that they won't do Legendary Robin because we got Legendary Robin as Grima, but I don't think that counts. Also, it's been so long anyway. Yeah, Robin could be cool. As far as the forecast for Legendary Micaiah specifically, I mean, I'm just looking at this calendar. October doesn't look good. I guess it could be December. Or February, who knows? Not counting on it anytime soon. Man, I still only have one Parap Legendary. It's just Alm. This entire time I've been using Alm for all my Allegiance battles. We've had quite a few of them at this point. We've had them for over a year too. Going backwards, we've had Selith and Edelgard, Crom, Celica, Leaf, Julia, Eliwood, Alm, and Roy. Just looking at that quick selection, there's kind of a trend of the older characters getting legendaries now, which is just kind of interesting. No, I guess now that we have Corrin and Edelgard, it's a little different, but I don't know how she'll affect the meta. I'm not good at making that kind of analysis. Oh, you know what though? She will be annoying on AR defense if people put her on their AR defense teams, because she's just gonna have damage reduction when you try to attack her the first time, right? Yeah, straight up. There isn't like a clear and cut counter to damage reduction, honestly. Like, there's no skill that just negates it. Your best bet is to just like maybe use like a Razzle Dazzle staff or a Flash staff. It's a very specific counter. Or just like overwhelm them completely with like a Lysithea nuke. Oh, I guess Naga stonks really are going up because if you run into Corrin on AR defense, then you can grant your units Dragon Effective with Naga. There you go. That was their endgame all along. Alright, I'm rambling now, so I can end the stream. If you're watching on Twitch, you can go subscribe on YouTube. That's where I upload the abridged versions of these reactions. If you are watching on YouTube, you can come follow on Twitch. That's where I do the live reactions, obviously. That's twitch.tv/Lumisaurus. Join the Discord. We have a channel just for Faye. And follow me on Twitter. Okay. That's it. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate it. I don't know when we'll be back. Cool, fun, horny art. Thanks for the stream. That is kind of the elephant in the room here, yeah.